Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
There's something compelling about Carolina blue, if you're a Carolina fan. But there's also another color closely identified with the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill: green. Not the green associated with environmental conservation, the green that overarches the 729-acre campus. Trees. UNC's landscaping has been an integral part of the university's identity since founder William Richardson Davie and a committee from Raleigh chose the spot, and since the first students took shortcuts across the quadrangle in 1795 to get where they wanted to go. The university setting was selected for maximum effect, planned and groomed over time. It was centrally located on a hilltop with an expansive view, where an old chapel had stood, tucked comfortably into a richly diverse, deciduous forest, whose lush remnants remain part of the campus today. But have you ever wondered how all this magnificence, this richly endowed landscape, is maintained? Surely not by students in their spare time, and certainly not by one man, although you might easily think so considering the near-legendary status of the campus tree surgeon, William "Bus" Hubbard. Whether you've been at Carolina only a semester or for most of a lifetime, you know who Bus is, even if not by name. He's the old guy up in the trees. It's shortly after 7 a.m. and Bus is ready for work after his typical Spartan breakfast.
I don't eat but one thing. I drink a glass of orange juice and work a half a day. I don't eat no breakfast. I bet you I ain't eat no breakfast in 40 years.
How do you do that?
I don't know. That's my habit.
Yeah.
My habit. I get that. My wife buy them little orange juice about that high, and I reach and get one of them. I'm poor.
You'd think he might have slowed down by now, but at age 78, when most men's work life is just a memory, Bus Hubbard is still at it, preparing to trim a large storm-damaged limb from this tree. If you've ever handled a chainsaw, especially a big one like this, you know that it's no easy job. It takes strength, a lot of it, and plenty of patience, plus endurance, something you'd expect more of a man in his 30s than one knocking on the door of 80.
We had a physical. This is 20 years ago now, and I can remember going in after Bus to get my physical. And he said, "My goodness, Kirk," he said, "that man has the body of an Olympic athlete."
Could it be the mayonnaise sandwiches he's had for lunch for the last 40 years? Or perhaps the beans he gets for supper most nights? No meat. So it must be all that hard work and a positive attitude.
Here's a guy who, started as a humble grounds worker, and I think really understands the mission of the whole place. He may not be a Carolina basketball fan, but he loves Carolina, and he knows what this place is about. And he knows that the trees and the beauty of the place add to it, and he knows that he's part of that. It's hard work, it's his dedication, and it's his spirit of just being the best that he can be.
An attitude that was apparent early on, when the boss needed somebody from the landscaping crew to work in the trees.
The boss man come in with a tree climber, and I started, they wanted somebody to climb. And I started with him going out. Me and him go out half a day, and he go up in the tree, and he sit there and wait. He sit there and wait on me to walk all out on the limb, and and this. And we go out every half a day. That's the only way I learned.
Back then, work was tough, and wages were sparse.
25 cents an hour, that's what I started.
He has been here for every graduation, 58 years. He's been here for every special event. He's been here for every snowfall. He's always here.
If working can be seen as art, Bus Hubbard is a master. Like a fine artist, he knows his tools and his trees. This job's almost done. Just a gentle push, and the limb's final section falls to the ground. As spring rolls into summer and then back into fall, the Carolina landscape changes character with the seasons. And who's to say one is more beautiful than the other? The whole effect is calming, as a walk from classroom to dorm ought to be, given the challenges of college life. And looming over the students, as if chaperoning them to class, stands UNC's revered Davie Poplar. Bus knows the 300 to 400-year-old tree like an old friend.
It looked like it was just busting right down, but it's holding on, I'll tell you that.
As long as this big, misshapen, lightning-struck tulip poplar stands, legend says that the university will thrive. Should anything happen to the old tree, practically an unimaginable event, Davie Poplar Jr. and Davie Poplar III are growing nearby, planted in 1918 and 1993 from the older tree's seeds. But what happens when, or if, Bus finally retires? The university's trees will continue to spread their limbs. Storms will do their best to undo all of his good work. And spring will come to campus as surely as a new crop of students plans on showing up at the end of summer. And who knows, perhaps some burly young newcomer with a gold standard work ethic will show up just in time, ready to shoulder the task for another 60 or so years once the big man's days at Carolina are done. But then again, it very well could take two of them to do this one man's job, just like those two younger Davie Poplars waiting in the wings.
Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.